Happy New Year. I hope you had a safe end of year. I hope you got to celebrate in a way that feels authentic to you. And I hope that you were able to settle in into the closing of the year to prepare for what you wanted to accomplish or what you wanted your new year to look like. I want to take a minute to discuss exactly what we should be implementing as opposed to what society dictates us to do. I know a lot of times when the year approaches, we always think about external factors of what we want to do. Some people will say they want to lose weight. Some people will say they want to make more money, get a new car, get a new house. A lot of external gratification and accomplishments. And while those things are fine, for us specifically as empathic beings with emotional wounds, the outside materialistic items will not heal the parts of us that really need to help us to actually enjoy the successes and the milestones and anything else that we may achieve. If we obtain all of these privileges and luxuries without first healing the feeling that we are unworthy or the feeling that we are undeserving of these things and accomplishments, we'll just be repeating our years before. I want us to really sit with ourselves and really think about exactly what we want from life. Sit with the feeling, sit with the thought, sit with who you want there with you, and sit with who you may have to lose. I want us to focus on what we may have to grieve and what we may have to let go, but it also focus on what may be birthed or what we will obtain. Sometimes we go through stages of decluttering our homes because we realize we have too much stuff, and we realize that we have to get rid of stuff to make room for something else, or to just get rid of maybe the stress or the chaos that having a lot of things around us can make us feel. But I want us to also do that emotionally. Let's work on decluttering our minds, our hearts, our wounds from the past, our feelings of inadequacy, our feelings of unworthiness, our feelings of undeserving. Before the year ended, I wanted to do some sort of ritual to just get my mind ready for the new year. And I essentially took a piece of paper. I wrote down all the things that I wanted to forgive myself for. I wrote down all the things that I no longer wanted to carry in my heart, in my body, in my mind. And I had some dried flowers. I rolled it up into a cute little roll. I used some, what are they called? Like some cotton rope, some twine. I rolled it in. I put a nice little bow and I held it to my chest and I read, each one that I could remember out loud, and I cried. I said to myself that I forgive you and I no longer want to carry this in my heart, and I am giving myself permission to release this pain. And after I sat with it for a moment and actually went down each thing that I wrote to really feel the release of it, I envisioned that there were these chains that were being broken off of me. And with each shackle that was removed, I felt like I was stepping into a new chapter in my life. After I said these things, I then put it in the fireplace and I watched it burn. And I said to myself, that was the last time that I was going to hold those things, figuratively and emotionally. And I let it go. It has been the most peaceful, let's say, 8 days thus far, but I I intend to be very intentional in not allowing those things to dictate how I feel about myself any longer. It's been too long. I'm at a point in my life where enough is enough. And I'm just tired of repeating the same cycles. And if you're here, I believe you are in the same space. So I invite you to also do that self-forgiveness ritual to where you just put down on a piece of paper what you want to let go of, what you want to forgive yourself of, what you're just tired of carrying. You say your last goodbyes and you let it go. It doesn't serve us. For us to carry those emotions long term, it makes us unhealthy, both physically and mentally and emotionally. We shouldn't be carrying guilt. We shouldn't carry shame. We shouldn't we shouldn't speak so badly to ourselves because we won't forgive ourselves for making mistakes. We're human. I think the problem is we have heard so many voices tell us bad things about ourselves that we have internalized it. And when we do make mistakes, we basically punish ourselves because that's what we were told we deserved. But I want us to rewire that thinking, and I want us to accept that we are human, we are imperfect, we're going to make mistakes, but we deserve grace from ourselves and from the world. But most importantly, from ourselves, because as we've learned, the world doesn't always give it to us. We have to create our own bubble of emotional safety that only we can create because only we know ourselves and only we know what makes us feel safe. And I truly believe that once we start to be kind to ourselves and once we start to create that safety inside of ourselves, then we will start attracting like-minded situations. If you're here, I feel that you're just tired of repeating the same cycles. You're tired of ending up in the same situations. But I want us to look at ourselves and realize that if the common denominator is us, there's something inside of us that needs adjustment. And we have to lovingly adjust it in ourselves. Because realistically, it was placed there by someone else. We're carrying someone else's judgment. Whoever is in your head with that judgmental voice, they put that inside of you. Whoever spoke doubt into you, that's not your doubt. You're carrying someone else's doubt that you have adopted. And because you're empathic and because we absorb everything around us, we have to learn how to detach. We have to learn how to separate someone else's voice from our own. But we can only learn that when we develop our own so that we can differentiate who's speaking. For me, that is the greatest step to your healing is getting to know you so that you just know which voice to listen to. And don't get me wrong, triggers are going to come, but we learn to navigate them better and we learn to not have them be so debilitating towards our day and our mood and our lives. They come up, and when they come up, we address them. I want us to take this, new year time frame, this new reset as a way to actually implement what we want in our lives and to declutter things that no longer fit us, figuratively and literally. Enough is enough. Some of us have clothes in our closets that we've been waiting 5+ years to fit back into. Enough is enough. Get rid of it. Make space for something that you can use and something that you want, not something that makes you feel inadequate and something that makes you feel that the past version of you is better. We're looking to the future now. A whole year has passed. We can't look back at that. We're looking to the future now. I invite you to really sit with yourself and really figure out how do you want this new year to look. Let's use this as a building stone, a building foundation, right? And we're going to build our lives one brick at a time. One brick at a time, so that it's structurally sound and it's impenetrable. We're the ones that have the key. We're the ones that dictate who comes in and who goes and who is not allowed to stay. We dictate when someone's stay is over. We dictate the temperature of our home. We dictate the decor of our home. No one is going to come in and say they don't like this because we put it there because we like it. And it's going to stay because we put it there. That's the mentality that we have to have when it comes to our mind and our hearts. We decide what stays. We decide what goes. We decide what is developed. And we decide what is extinguished. I wish you guys nothing but the best for the new year to come. But let's work on ourselves and let's build it so that the things that we look at the past year, we don't duplicate it in this year and then be repeating the same cycle again when the next new year comes around. I want you guys to enjoy life, and I want us to feel fulfilled. There's a small portion of us, and we all have similar walks of life. So in this moment, let's reclaim our power, let's reclaim our strength, and let's learn our voice. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Thank you for your time. Thank you for holding space. And as always, I'm wishing you nothing but peace, love, and light. Until next time.